This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio. All right, Lagos, Nigeria, Asaba, Uyo, Wiriaba, and everyone outside the environs of Nigeria. Welcome to the third quarter of the year 2024. Of course, it is the second half of the year 2024, and it is also a new month, the month of July. Hey, if you're super excited, yes, make some noise if you're happy to see the new month, the month of July. Yeah, July the 1st. Yes, finally, the Lord has done it. Finally. Welcome, Lagos. Welcome, Nigeria. Welcome, every one of you, to Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and this is Table Talk. It comes your way every Monday morning at 10 a.m. What we do on Table Talk is to bring you abreast of a few things happening within, around, and outside us. And today is not an exception. It is not an exception. You can be part of the conversation. Feel free to talk about what we are talking about, any of the stories that is of interest to you. You can do that via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp number, live on Facebook and on YouTube. This morning, I'm not alone in the studio. I'm joined by a friend and a brother all the way from the beautiful city of Lagos. Like say now Abuja a day. But he's joining me this morning all the way from live in the studio, all the way from his house, of course. How are you, Victor, aka Rap Apostle?
Very well.
It's so good to have you once again. You see the form of that, you might push it inside. Yeah. Wonderful. Use your hand and push it. Do it very well. Confirm. Okay, your mic is okay. Please, you can say hello.
Hello, Nigerians.
Aha.
How you guys doing?
They are doing fine, except for the fact that it's been raining heavily, and the cost of is it cost of transportation and cost of feeding is also high. But it's all good. We thank God for life. Thank God for the month of July. I also have a beloved in whom I am well pleased, joining me from all the way from Warri in Delta State. Perpetua, do we have you there? Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, I should be able to hear you now. Perpetua, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can't you hear me?
I can hear you, my sister. I just had to. I just had to reconnect the device to the console. It disconnected unknowingly to me. Thank you very much, Perpetua, joining us all the way from Warri in Delta State. Victor is in the house, aka Rap Apostle. And this morning, I'm also in the house. As always, we'll be looking into a few stories this morning. Feel free, like I said earlier, to join the conversation via the comment section, and also our WhatsApp number is made available. On Table Talk, we bring to you abreast of what is happening. We bring to you abreast of happenings around you and outside you. It's an opportunity to get informed in order not to be deformed. We look into different stories making the rounds. We carefully select a few. We bring them to the fore. We talk about them. And also, you have the opportunity to talk about them. As usual, we begin the show with the summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. Do well to like, to comment, and to share wherever you are. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching us live from. Let's know where you can hear us live from. Share the link so that everybody can be part of this session this morning. It's 11 minutes past the hour of 10. We are pressed for time, so we need to fly. Okay. A summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about quickly. The first one here is the federal government, through the Nigerian Customs Service, has grounded a United States registered Gulfstream GC50ER jet belonging to a leading Nigerian bank. Okay. Signaling the commencement of government clampdowns on private jet owners over the unpaid import duty, running into several billions of naira. All right. So yeah, it's one of the news I actually came across this morning. Federal government clamping down on private jets. Okay, let's not talk about it. It's just a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. Okay. A rice farmer, the second one here says that a rice farmer identified as Taiwo Paul has been murdered by some suspected headers in the Kanta area of Ewekoro, local government of Ogun State. It was gathered that while Peter was allegedly hacked into death by the suspects at his rice plantation in the community, another farmer identified as Peter Danjuma died of electrocution in the Isoyin area of Ata Ijebu. Number 3, no fewer than 20 travelers along the Shagamu Ijebu Ode Expressway were reportedly abducted by some gunmen at about 8 p.m. on Sunday, while one of the victims was shot in the knee. The gunmen were said to have ambushed the travelers between Shagamu area command of the Nigerian police and Ilesan Township. All right, here. There was outrage on Sunday over United Kingdom-based taxi driver who remained on the federal government's payroll despite immigrating to the UK in 2022. The BBC had on Sunday reported that a 36-year-old Nigerian civil servant referred to as Shabitu Adams, not renamed, moved to the United Kingdom in 2022, but was still receiving a salary as a civil servant in Nigeria. Somebody say wonderful. Number 5, the Ekiti State government has rejected the proposed plan by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, and Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, to put the state in blackout for 9 hours daily for the next 2 months, effective from July, which is today. A notice by TCN reviewed plans by the firm to carry out critical maintenance work on the 132 kV Akure Oshobo transmission line. Number 6, quickly, there will be no peace for any drug dealer in Kano State. Governor Abba Yusuf has warned. The governor was on Sunday reacting to the boldness exhibited by some drug dealers who sought legal resource through court orders for the release of their confiscated illicit drug shipments. Number 7, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has said he has no regrets in the last 7.5 years that he has been in charge of the state. He said his government has delivered and surpassed all electioneering promises made to the people. Number 8, quickly, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have disrupted a drug party dubbed Go Hard or Go Home. Pick your poison, where 60 suspects comprising 25 males and 35 females were arrested at an apartment in Sun City Estate in Abuja. The spokesman of the agency, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday in a statement noted that the raid followed credible intelligence about the drug party. Then number 9, the death toll in last weekend's suicide bomb attacks at the wedding ceremony in Guazaborono State has risen to 18. One of fewer than 42 others sustained injuries of varying degrees. The Director General State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Dr. Bakindo Sadiu, confirmed on Sunday. And lastly, the Federal Capital Territory FCT Police Command has refuted the report that Martins Vincent Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, has been arrested. Yeah, I saw that stuff trending on Twitter. The police said he was only invited for questioning on the allegations of cyber stalking, cyber bullying, and defamation of character. We all know where that came from. All right, with that, we segue to the stories that we've selected to talk about this morning. That's a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. Don't repeat Buhari's mistake. Shehu Sani warns Tinubu. This particular one is from the Punch newspaper. A summary of what Nigerian newspaper that I read out to you this morning was from Daily Post. And now this one says, don't repeat Buhari's mistake. Shehu Sani warns Tinubu. The reason why I selected this very, very, very headline is the fact that it was literally on all newspapers this morning. So I said, okay, so since this one rings a bell and it is what it has a lot of attention, let's quickly talk about it. Okay, a few paragraphs and then we'll begin with Victor and we'll head over to Perpetua joining us via voice conversation from Warri Delta State. A former senator representing the Kaduna Central District in the 8th National Assembly, Shehu Sani, has appealed to the President Bola Tinubu not to repeat the mistakes of his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari, especially in the area of rejigging his cabinet. Tinubu officially took over from Buhari after the inauguration into office on Monday 29, 2023. Sani, an activist, however, claimed the 8-year tenure of the former military head of state was fraught with nepotism and incompetence, especially in terms of governance, security, and economic policies. The federal lawmaker made the plea when he was featured as a guest on Sunday's edition of Channels Television's Politics Today. Victor, let's go. Do not make the same mistake that Buhari, your predecessor, made. Shehu Sani is advising Tinubu.
Yes, you know what Shehu Sani is actually referring to is a very critical aspect, you know, when it comes to leadership.
Yes.
He made a statement as regards, you know, Beta Edu, the one that was in charge of this Empower scheme.
Yes, yes.
That was removed from office. You know, up to now, since that was in January when she was removed from office.
Yes.
Up to now, she's yet to resume. As in, there's no rejigging. There's nobody that's replaced that position.
That position.
And the same thing Muhammadu Buhari did during his time in office. Those ministers that were ministers stayed with him.
Yes.
For 7 years in office. They stayed with him. There was no reshuffling of ministers. Even when it was time for them to be reshuffled, he still made use of the same set of people. So there was no flow of ideas. You know, in leadership, there's what we call idea meritocracy. Now, Shehu Sani is saying that he was too into nepotism, that is, showing favor to relatives and close friends.
Yes, those around him.
Those are people that you give positions to. But in our world today, what we should do is we should allow everyone be a player in the team, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of, you know, your language, whether or not you're my friend. But because you have something to bring to the table, you are competent. Our competence should be the yardstick for leadership positions.
Yes.
Not just that you're my brother or not just because you're my friend. Are you competent enough to occupy that position? So Shehu Sani is telling our president, Tinubu, not to repeat the same mistake his predecessor did during his time.
But you see, this issue of having people in political positions by the president didn't just start with Buhari. It has been, like, it's just a Nigerian thing, if I should put it that way.
Yes, of course. We know that. We know this godfatherism of the
Exactly.
state.
Are you there?
It has been on, but we should not continue in it.
But yeah, so the key word here is competence first, irrespective of who. Perpetual, you are my friend, and I don't know if you are competent enough to talk about this. Is it yeah, you see, people will always advise politicians in power. Do they listen?
Actually, they don't listen. It's just like Nigerian government has been a thing of make it's our turn. If it's our turn, we help the people that we can help. It's not about how I want to move the country forward. So
It's
no
not
matter
it's not
what
about
you
how we
say,
want to move the country forward. Yes, please
that no
continue.
matter what you say,
Yes.
they'll say if you don't have connection, that's when you call it corruption. Because if your person is there, you say the government is working. But once your person is not there, you're not gaining from it. That's when we start seeing the corruption and everything. So I think what we should start doing is we should start featuring the system. Like no matter who enters, let it not be like, oh, PDP has won presidential election. That means state election should be PDP also. They should be deep, like let everybody come together and bring their own part and offer something to the table. And let's start thinking of the country and not for our own personal gain.
Fantastic. Very good one.
That's right.
What? Please release that bomb again that you released initially earlier. I'm trying to do when it is.
Or
when
if you don't have connection, they call it corruption.
Yes, and that is why we are connected to you, and thank God the system is not corrupt. All right, moving on quickly to the. Oh, okay, stop that. My system, because I said the system now wants to do what I wanted to do. But okay, very next story this morning here says Japa outrage as UK-based driver remains on FG payroll. Now, last week, I came across, I don't know if it was last week or during the week, I think last week, I just came across some random post on this same thing that people in the abroad that were civil servants are receiving, I think a number of people, it was discovered that a number of people in the abroad that have relocated out of Nigeria a long time ago are still on federal government payroll.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
It's not just those abroad now. There are so many persons in Nigeria. They call them ghost workers. You know, their names are on the payroll.
Yes.
But physically, they are not doing the work. Do you understand? Their names are on the payroll, but physically, they are not doing the work. So it's not, this one just became obvious because it came out to play. But there are so many persons on the payroll that are ghost workers in Nigeria. We have a lot of persons like that. You know, some persons, they are covering them up. Some persons, you know, how will I put it? There's like a share. If you cover me up, this is you get 50%, I'll get 50%, you know. So it's the system itself, it's corrupt. And there are so many ghost workers. And this is just one of, they're saying, how did they talk as if? They're saying, thief when they catch.
Thief when they catch, na him be thief.
So, but assuming this did not come to light, then it will not be known. There are a lot of people still ghost working today in the civil service system.
Perpetua, on Sunday yesterday, there was an outrage over a United Kingdom-based taxi driver who remained on the federal government's payroll despite migrating to the UK in 2022, and this is 2024. Civil society organizations who spoke to the Punch on Sunday said the report was an indication of how deeply rooted corruption was in the Nigerian civil service. President Bola Tinubu had last week ordered a crackdown on civil servants who were still collecting salaries despite migrating abroad. The culprits must be made to return the money they have fraudulently collected, he said. what should be the next or another? Should there be a form of punishment to those people that are doing this and those people that are aiding this? And what kind of punishment should they give to them aside from returning the money they've collected for years as ghost workers? In your own opinion?
My own opinion, like the truth is that how are you going to even find these people in the first place? Because if we want to start looking at corruption, every government official, anybody that is working, once you're a civil servant, you're working under federal government, you follow for the corruption. Let's not hide it, because they are the ones that used to start all these things. Because how do you want that? Even if you want to punish them, you say they should return the money. It's the people that they catch. They say it's who they catch that is the thief.
Exactly.
It's the people that they will catch that they will even drag. They won't see anybody, because you cannot be collecting a government salary without being there, and the authority does not know about it. If it's the same authority that is going to punish them, how will they punish people that they have given the ground to? The only thing that will say, okay, we'll not see one or two persons, is maybe they will not ask them to come back to the office and pay so and so person. They refuse to pay. That's where you now see that one scapegoat that they will use.
I think
but
we should.
as far they can, the only thing they should do, I think they should do, is that they should just take them off the job completely and give it to. They should not just take the person. They should also take the head in that department.
Because
Like,
somebody
if
is
it's a
actually
federal
aiding
government
that payment.
Yes, if it's a federal government university, the person that is in charge of distributing salary or is in charge of signing monthly attendance should also be changed. Because even if they change, even if they give that position out and they drop the person, that person that is giving people free allowance to just take salary without working will also give somebody else.
Yes,
so
that's
if you
true.
don't remove, if they don't remove the person allocated to that position, it will keep on happening. So I don't think we should focus on the punishment we should give the person per se. I think we should just think of how we're going to start removing, since this has come to
Removing
light,
the
because
worm
now
that is eating the wood.
Yeah, remove that person from it. That's what I
You know
think
those days in school days when you won't attend class or lectures, you ask your friend to sign attendance for you because you know that
Exactly.
that particular attendance will help you. So this is exactly what is playing out here. Somebody is busy signing on behalf of somebody that is not there. All right, let's quickly move on. UN condemn Borno bombing. Tinubu vows to crash Boko Haram. Over time, we've had presidents from different parties that have, ruled Nigeria, vowing to crush Boko Haram. Why is it so? We've asked this question over time. We've talked about this over and over and over again. Why is it so difficult for federal government, both past and present, to, I don't want to say future because I don't know the ones that will come in future, but what is it about Boko Haram that federal government from, past administrations to present have been vowing, and that vow has not been, has not come to play?
Personally, I would say it's a political tool they use. Even Boko Haram itself, it's political. Boko Haram is political. There was a time I had to do a background study on who these people really are. And you would also know that the government also, they are in a form of alliance. You should not do this, or as an you people should free these people. They pay them certain commission, they pay them certain money to for there to be rest. But then when they are not meeting up with those demands, you see them coming out, doing stuff. During the time President Goodluck Jonathan was still our president, he was really frustrated. The Boko Harams frustrated him.
He frustrated his administration.
Administration, yes. Immediately he left office, there was a form of rest. But then, when they stopped meeting up with the agreement as agreed, what happened? They came back again to fight. And subsequently, you see these things coming up. You see, there will be a time where there will be a season of rest. There will be a time where there will be a season of attack. So me personally, I feel this is more political than anything. Because a president will come and say, I will crush Boko Haram. Just give me some time, I'll eliminate Boko Haram. Another president will come and say, I'll crush Boko Haram. So it's something that cannot be crushed. It cannot be completely eliminated. It can only be controlled because it's a political game.
Very
So
true.
That's why I have to say.
Well, okay, all right, Perpetua, I want you to speak on this very one. I don't want us to take too much time on this very story, but there was a time that some names from the abroad was released, names of people sponsoring Boko Haram and terrorism in Nigeria. Until tomorrow, absolutely nothing has been done. That is why, in a way, I agree with what Victor said, that there is a politicization in the whole insurgency thing. But Perpetua, Catholic groups want women in politics. Let me quickly come to you on this very one. It says that the Justice, Peace and Development Initiative of the Catholic Diocese of Ekiti has charged women to step up their involvement in politics to right many wrongs in the policy. The Assistant Director JPDI of the Catholic Diocese of Ekiti, Reverend Sister Agatha. You see that name, Agatha, and Catholic people. Okay, yeah, moving on. Obugu made the call in Ado Ekiti on Thursday during the quarterly dialogue with women. The event, which dwelt on the role of women in gender-based violence in Ekiti State, was attended by gender rights activists and local gender officers across the 16 council areas of the state. Participants at the program, held in conjunction with the European Union Democratic Governance in Nigeria, program phase 2, were also given free training on the challenge of the high price of tomato and pepper through home farming using sacks and organic method. Perpetua, if you are called upon tomorrow to occupy a political position, are you going to accept it, yes or no?
This one is a very tempting one, but to be honest,
yes.
If I'm called upon to take a political position, I would not take it.
Why?
I would not take it because there's so much responsibility, and sometimes you want to do the right thing. As a person, you want to do the right thing. You are thinking of you even enter the position with a clear mind. But there are always people around. There are always people that maybe they have been on the government payroll for a very long time. So it's just like,
so for instance, now this ghost workers thing, and you find yourself in such position, and you want to say no, you want to probably do something that would put an end to it, and somebody will just come and drag you and say, will you mind yourself?
Yes, you get that, all those kind of things. So as a woman, there's a way we are very emotional. So they know all these political parties, they know how, except you don't have anything to lose. That's when I would say you can boldly sit in a political position, do what you want to do, because there you know that there's nothing you are losing. That's apart from your life, there's nothing else they can take. But somebody like me, there are plenty of people, and my heart is very soft. I can't take it.
You cannot maintain steeze under pressure. But you see, we have Yusuf, Aisha Yusuf, and the human rights activist.
She's so fearless.
Hey, why are you so? I mean, a whole national anthem. She didn't stand up. There was a time she parad in front of those politicians and said, "When Buhari insulted that was hate speech. When so that was hate speech." So. I mean, I think we need to give you a lot of lever so that you'll be able to be as strong as I. But eventually, when you get an opportunity to occupy political positions, but yeah, I love your would I call it this position now, or your position that you've which is absolutely true. That's one of the challenges that we're facing here in our political system right here in Nigeria. We have people that are willing to do the right thing, but powers that be will not allow
Yeah.
them manifest the way they want to. Let's move on quickly. Nigerians not feeling the impact of FG's 4.3 trillion palliatives in a country where there is no war, in a country where the politicians or the cost of governance is so high and all that. We have the government giving out palliatives, financial palliatives, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. But Labour Party has come to say Nigerians are not feeling the impact of FG's 4.3 trillion palliatives. I don't know, Victor, have you received any alerts from FG so far?
I've not received though. I actually came out when I first of all saw this. I smiled because I know that not every Nigerian will have access. That's just the truth. That's the bitter truth. Not every Nigerian will have access to the palliative.
Yes.
But some Nigerians will also have access to it. And those Nigerians that have access to it will also come out to say, I don't collect, I receive a lot. But it will not be for everybody. Some people would receive, some people would not receive. I remember during the COVID, a lot of persons received palliatives, but there are still much more people. Just probably 30% of the citizens that received the palliative, 70% did not receive. The 30% that receives the palliative will still come out to say, I have received though. So it's an indication that, yes, it will not go round, but it will go through to some persons.
Perpetua, some Nigerians are of the school of thought that this palliative thing is audio money as a way for politicians to siphon money. Do you see it that way?
Yes, I see it that way because when the second host said 30% of the country will receive the money, like who is the 30%? Like have you seen a common person, even let's say it will not get to the rest of the state, the Abuja that all of them are staying, have a common person come out to say, I've received the money, or at least an average worker, an average salary earner, or maybe a government school teacher will say, at least I received 12 or 10,000 naira from this palliative that has been shared. We don't see the people. There's always maybe only 2 people will now come out and say I received the money, and those 2 people can actually just be coming to play the role so that it's not be like the money did not lose. But we don't see anybody, we don't hear of anything. Once this news just comes out, in 1 week, everything has died down. We do not hear about the palliative again, and there's nothing we can do about it. So I feel that all these things are just audio money, or it's money that they have given to, they have used to go and buy one new car or marry a new wife or bought something, and they will say they gave it to Nigerians so that it's not be as if
have you not received text message, this random text message of Tinubu something call Mr. Muhammadu Ahmed to get your own 45,700 and be 75,200? Have you not received such text?
I have.
So did you call the Mr. Muhammad? Did you call him? You did not call him. Now you are saying you have not received anything. You Nigerian self. I don't understand. All right.
At least there must be one person that would have called Mr. Mohammed. Every news that we have heard from those numbers is that they are scam. So how will you go and call Mr. Mohammed?
At least call him first. You never can tell if that's the real this thing. What do you mean? All right, let's move on. Create jobs, improve living standards with loans. Peter Obi to Nigerian government. Victor, the last time I heard the total amount of loan that Nigeria is owing. But the thing is, the question now is, all this money, where did they collect? We know they see the impact of waiting that they use them do. What do you think is going on?
Yeah, just like the money collected, trying to use it to say they want to make use of it for palliatives, and then it will not go round. For me, just like the suggestion, the LP presidential candidate Peter Obi has urged the Nigerian government to do, I believe is the best way to solve this problem of no money in the country. We don't have money. Once jobs are being created, or people are empowered to, create jobs, people are empowered to set up themselves. You give out loans for people to empower themselves, generate money, and pay in installments. It's easier that way. It's easier for a person to come and set up himself. And then, it helps the standard of living of that person. Very easy. You don't, there's an adage, a cliche that says, don't just give me fish. You do what? You teach me how to fish. That is the best way to empower a person. You don't just give the person fish. You teach the person how to fish by empowering the person to set up, to be on their own. Set up their own business, be able to grow their own business. You can give them loans or grants. Then subsequently for the loans, they can pay in installments. Why for grants? You come and make sure that you have a organized body that would, check if they're actually using the money for that purpose they have been given. That's the best way to empower people.
Perpetua, who borrows money and ends up not using it for things that would, enable the person to repay? As at the first quarter of the year, our loan on as a country, Nigerian loan stands at 121.86. Okay, Obi noted that it was alarming that government borrowing reached a staggering 121.86. Is it billion or this thing now? Is it 121.86 in the first quarter, naira? I think that should be billion or trillion. He disclosed that the fact that several trillions were borrowed in just 3 months highlights the urgent need for prudent management of the country's finance. Now, somewhere here says that the recent reports at the end of the first quarter indicates a significant increase in our government borrowing, reaching a staggering 121.86 trillion naira. This rapid accumulation of debt is alarming, and if this borrowing trend continues at the current rate, we can expect the total to surpass 150 trillion naira by the end of the year. Who they borrow money, no can they use and do within in borrow for? I won't take pay. I won't take, get betterment of situation and economy at the end of the day.
This question you have asked me now, I don't even know how to answer
If
it.
you
Because
ask
the only thing is, yes,
me,
Nigeria
now
is
who I
owing
go
debt.
ask?
Nigeria is owing debt. Nigeria is owing debt. Who is borrowing the money? We don't know. Which person account are they borrowing it and putting it inside?
We don't know.
What did they use the money to do?
We don't know.
So how do you want to start fighting the battle? It's just
We
like
also
when
don't
the
know.
thief that stole your polo is helping you to look for the polo. How do you want to
Hey,
fight the battle?
Perpetual, you have been releasing atomic bombs this morning. Were you at Brno the other day? We've seen bomb blasts in Brno. You came this morning and you're giving us different bomb. Please throw that bomb again.
Because I don't know who is borrowing the money. I don't know where the money is entering. It's just that maybe when they now start putting pressure on them, they will now tell us that it's one rail station that they established since Obasanjo entered power, that they now use the money to finish, or they did not complete it. But who is borrowing the money? If you ask me now, I don't know what I will tell you.
Now
because
who
my house is very
I go
far from
ask?
Abuja.
Wonderful. All right, Tinubu, 36 governors lack will to tackle hardship Osun Muslim community. 36 governors were just on their own. They just collect stray bullets from Osun Muslim community. Do you agree with the fact that the 36 state governors in Lagos, in Nigeria, they lack the ability to tackle hardship? Victor?
I wouldn't say they lack ability, because every governor is empowered by the president. So I wouldn't say they lack the ability. They get their funds, and then their funds allocated that they give to the community. Most times, everybody at every level, there is always a system of once money is being allocated for a particular thing, that money would not be used for that thing. You see that money is, diverted into personal purse, diverted into personal things. There's a system that flows from the federal government to the state government and down to the local government. The state government will not come and do the job of the local government.
Definitely not.
Do you understand? The federal government have their positions. The state government, which is the governors that are in charge, will be the ones to do the money allocated for the states will go through the state government for the states. Now, there's money allocated to the local government. So you don't expect a governor to come and be doing the job for a community.
Yes.
That's the job of the local government chairman. So there's money allocated to every local government chairman. The community is not to, they have no right to face the government. They have no right to face the governors. What they should look out for, who they should, pour their complaints to is the local government chairman for that community.
Government
not,
at the grassroots.
Yes, not the state, not the state governors. Do you understand? So that's what I have to say.
Papacha, do you agree? It's not only in the hands of the progress of any state is not only in the hands of the state government, but grassroots government.
Yes, it's not just about the state government because, like Victor's already said, the money has to pass down. So if maybe it comes from federal government, enter state government, let's say they release 1,000, everybody will 50 naira, 100 naira. Before it to get to the job that should be done, that money should be 30 naira. And maybe you need that 1,000 to do the job. That's why I guess we have so many half projects in each state. And at the end of the day, the government will tell you there's nothing they can do because to them, they have released the money that was allocated to them to release. So it's not just the state government that should be attacked on this issue. It should also be the local government.
All right, sir. We'll take our very last story this morning. So far, so good. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories was from the last 5 stories of the last 4 stories that we've talked about. Is from the Daily Post, and the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 stories we talked about was from the Punch, and the last 5 stories from the Daily Post. All right, this very one here says Kenyan citizens give President Ruto 48 hours ultimatum. Ultimatum, very, very big grammar there, to resign. Before I come to Perpetua, Victor, is it possible to give a president of Nigeria that is not doing the will of the people ultimatum? My brother.
Yeah, it's possible. This is democracy.
Yes.
That's what we're practicing. Democracy is what? What is democracy?
Demonstration of,
for the people.
Yes, that's true.
By the people. So it's about the people, not even the government. If Nigeria is not united, that's just the truth. If we actually are united, we have one word, then our say stands. Most times, the problem we have is that some persons will come together to say a thing. We still have opposing parties that will come and say another thing. So except the people are united. You see, these Kenyans that are coming to give the President Ruto an ultimatum to drop 48 hours. They are coming with one voice. It's not just different people coming to say this one. No, they are coming together as a voice to say we don't want this president anymore. If Nigerians can come together to say we don't want this, you cannot force a president on the people.
Yes.
But because we have this, we have different views, different support system.
Yes.
In our country, Nigeria, that might not work. That's what I have to say.
Division amongst us. Division amongst us.
Yeah.
This one I'm hearing, Pompom. Oh, Perpetua, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Very good. Now, I visited Kenya last week in the spirit. There is a current outrage in Kenya. Okay. Oh my God. All right. There is an outrage in Kenya as citizens gave President William Ruto a 48-hour ultimatum to step down, demanding a new government. Okay. Demanding a new government committed to transparency, accountability, and good governance. The call for resignation has gained significant traction, with a viral Twitter statement stating, "We no longer recognize William Ruto as the president of Kenya. We recall his presidency and urge him to immediately resign and surrender his office to the Kenyan people." This statement has generated lots of engagement, reflecting widespread discount. See, Kenyans are really, somebody said Kenya is now the giant of Africa. Perpetua.
Yeah,
Because they've been able to do what Nigerians and Nigeria have not done.
In Nigeria, I do. Everybody kind of focus on where they benefit from. Because if everybody from one state,
everybody is focusing on what they are benefiting from.
Yes. If half of Middle East say we don't want this government, maybe the Westerners will come and say it's our person, it's our turn, it's our this. Even when they are not benefiting, just because it's their person, they will say no to it. So if we are going to really stand and say no, and as one and say no, that we don't want this government anymore, it will not just take we have to just remove tribalism, religion. We have to remove those ones out of the picture and start thinking of the country itself. Because if the country is good enough, we won't be seeing fake pastors everywhere. If the country is good enough, I won't be so bothered if the person that is working above me is from one state or the other. Because
everything
we want
is
the country
working
to work. Yes,
right.
I will give it to Kenyans because they know what they know what they want. Nigerians, we are like, as far my belly can eat, anything that wants to happen, let it happen. And since the government already has the idea of, since the government already has the idea of, I can pay some people off, I can do this to some people. If I just buy car for the community head, this whole thing will die down. They will know that even if we cry from now to tomorrow, if they have paid the proper head, nothing is going to happen. So I think we should try to learn from them and think of how we want this country to move forward, because we can go from the giants of Africa now to the ants of Africa. Nobody will hear our Nigeria will now be like old glory. Nobody will hear of us anymore.
All right, thank you very much. It has been a wonderful time. Table Talk this morning has been super interesting and worth listening to, with you, Perpetua, joining us from Warri Delta State, and Victor in the studio with me. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, aka Ram Apostle, and my beloved, in whom I am well pleased. And concerning what I asked you and at the beginning of the show, we'll talk about it later, okay? Do have yourself a wonderful Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back at 1 p.m. and this time around for the real estate market trend, where we'll bring you abreast of happenings in the real estate industry. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and see you again.
Esi bochi, odo guna, Hello, wonderful smart investors. I am here again at Lush City by Cedarwood, here in the city of Aba, just 5 minutes off the Osisioma, popular Osisioma flyover. You can be this. Let me shock you now. This particular estate is just behind the Abia Polytechnic permanent site. If you are a wise investor, you will secure many plots here in Lush City because of the reason that when this school kicks off, students will look for a place to reside and lecturers will also look for apartments to stay. So this estate is also directly opposite Arab Construction Company at this Aba Owerri Express Road. You can be this. From here to Osisioma flyover is less than 5 minutes. So guys, what are you waiting for? This estate goes for just 4.5 million naira. This is a promo price, but I bet you'll be wowed because in few weeks we are going to take this estate back to its main price, which is 6 million naira. Why not get a plot right now that is 4.5 million naira? As you can see, this is a wonderful, magnificent estate gatehouse. The property has been fenced right round already. It's 100% table dry land, and this buy and build. So as a wise investor, I will advise you rush and grab a plot right here at Lush City by Cedarwood immediately. Do you know why? Because the school is actually going to kick off very, very soon, and students are looking for places to reside. As a wise investor, secure a plot now that is still on promo. Just 4.5 million naira. A plot of 44 square meters is yours. The estate is already fenced, and this is a gatehouse, and it has been plot demarcated. We give instant allocation immediately after your payment. So guys, so what are you waiting for? Hit me now. Let's close this deal.
E1 Plus, making home ownership a reality.